It's Luke Howard Live! Hey! Woo! Woo! Thank you! Woo! 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 Thank you! Woo! 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 Thank you! Woo! 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 Thank you so much. Thank you for the wonderful, amazing round of applause. Thank you very much for that fantastic round of applause. Hello, afternoon. Welcome to the show. It's 12:30 and it's Wednesday the 17th of February. It's great to have your company. Once again, we're halfway through the week already. Where has the time gone? It's great to have your company. And here's how you can get in touch on Britain's brightest, best radio show today. You can email the show. It is GaryJHoward68@hotmail.com. You can also email me. It's 345-457@student.hrc.ac.uk. You can also find the show on Instagram. It's the Luke Howard fan page. You can also email my best mate Michael Walker, who presents his show on a Friday. Here you can email him as well. It's 34477@student.hrc.ac.uk. You could also get in touch via hashtags, hashtag Luke Howard, hashtag Luke Howard Live, hashtag Michael Walker Live, hashtag Listen to Luke Howard Live. Great ways, fantastic ways to get in touch with Britain's brightest, best radio show today. Now, coming up on the show then, moving away from the getting in touch, we're talking about news today, and news on the show today, which includes Harry and Meghan. We're going to be talking about the royals on the show. They're to be interviewed by Oprah Winfrey. That's going to be great. And we're also going to be talking about COVID once again. 7 more symptoms. There's going to be 7 symptoms apparently, and apparently we're going to talk about the symptoms on the show today and what you should do if you have those symptoms. We're also going to be talking about more COVID news in England. I believe a bit of breaking news. University students are going to get a refund. Lots of questions that are being answered online that we shall talk about on the show today. And we're also going to be covering Ash Wednesday on the show as well, because it is Ash Wednesday today. Apparently it's something to do with giving up something from Lent. So, me giving up tea, me giving up chocolates. It's never going to work, and it never will. So, if you are going to give up something today, do let us know between now and Easter, because I can never ever give anything up. I really couldn't. I would never be able to give anything up. I really wouldn't. Okay, let's get kick-starting on with the show today then. Okay, so, in the news then, let's kickstart. We're talking about the royals. Something different to talk about today. I will talk about the royals to kickstart on the show, because the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, they've been talking about their decision to step away from the monarchy. And in a TV interview, it was with the wonderful Oprah Winfrey, and it's going to be airing next month. Oprah Winfrey was with Meghan and Harry, a CBS primetime special apparently. It's been described by the US television network as an intimate conversation apparently. The wide-ranging interview is going to be broadcast on the 7th of March. Will us Brits be able to see it? We just do not really know. But the news is going to be following the announcement that the royal couple are expecting their second child. Well, I never! They're accepting their second child already. Oh my God! Celebrate good times. Come on! Apparently they're getting a brand new child apparently. So another child, blimey. But that sounds interesting, doesn't it? But the news is going to be following the announcement, as I said, and it's going to be it'll be interviewed about their stepping into life. As a royal marriage, motherhood, and how she is handling life under instance and public pressure. As well. Now, she will then be joined by Prince Harry, and the couple are going to be speaking about their move to the United States last year, and of course, their future plans as well. I never knew they were expecting another child. How exciting! Woo! They're having a baby! A royal baby! But why didn't they just put that in the main news anyway? But no one really knows about it, because I think what they're going to do is mention it after that apparently. But the decision is to speak publicly comes just over a year after the couple announced that they had decided to step back apparently from life as senior royals, had to work to become financially independent, and they also carried out their final formal royal duties last year. Now, Oprah Winfrey, she's a personal friend of Meghan Markle herself. Of course she is. Of course she's a special friend of Meghan Markle. Of course she is. And she attended the couple's wedding back in 2018 apparently. And it's also known whether Harry and Meghan have been informed by royal households about their plans to be interviewed. Buckingham Palace also declined the comment, and it is also not known which broadcast, if any, will show the interview in this very country. Well, let's hope they do show it in this country. Let's hope they do show it over here, because it will be very exciting if they did. Now, Johnny Diamond, the BBC, a royal correspondent, said that there would now be 3 weeks of frantic speculation about the contents of that very interview. They have to wait to see what it will be and what kind of secrets are going to be revealed. And apparently it's all going to be about the past 2 to 3 weeks. He also started a radio programme that it was on Tuesday just gone. Now, Diamond described Winfrey as a very close correlate of the royal couple about what they had apparently been. I'm really excited to be seeing it. I've got my cup of tea in my hand, and I'm really excited about talking about this, because it just seems absolutely incredible, if you ask me. It just seems amazing that they're expecting another child. He also added that the conversation was unlikely to be hostile, apparently. I'm just overwhelmed. I really, really am. It's also that they won between the Duke of York and the news site's Emily Mushti that year. And meanwhile, it was the press reported on Tuesday that yesterday that they suggested the Duke and the Duchess are all set to lose their remaining royal pensions. It is also claimed that Harry will also lose their 3 honorary military titles: Captain General of the Royal Marines Honorary Air Force Commitment of the Royal Air Force Base in Horrington and the Hornington. And an honorary commander-in-chief of the Royal Navy Commands, Small Ships and Diving, is what they've been saying. So that sounds very interesting, if you ask me. I mean, that sounds really, really good. I look forward to hearing a bit more about that nearer the time. Okay, so COVID symptoms we're talking on the show. Now, yes, I know, COVID. We have to talk a little bit about it on the show. Yes, symptoms about what you could expect if you have got it. Researchers have been researching all about it, and they want the government to add a frequent headache, sore throat, diarrhea to accepting 3 symptoms by triggering in a COVID test. Currently, anyone with a cough, fever, or loss of smell or taste is actually the main symptoms. But testing for those 3 additional symptoms could pick up 40% more cases. And King's College in London apparently and those symptoms in study app has also suggested it as well. However, it would also mean that many more people who don't have the virus are being tested as well. The Department of Health and Social Care, which I know quite a lot about, and I have learned quite a lot about health and social care, so I do know a little bit about this. A spokesperson said that experts, now come on, what do experts even know? It was also our scientific group that kept the symptoms of the COVID-19 under review. The main symptoms had been carefully selected to capture those most likely to have their COVID-19, while not capturing a great number of people who do not. Now, the Zoe team was the group of the first identified loss of smell and taste as a symptom of COVID was leading to it all being added to the official symptoms list. They all spotted that it was all by looking at the symptoms reported by people using their COVID symptom study mobile app, which also went on to test positive as well, which really made me surprised, to be honest with you. By analysing that the data was for more than 120,000 adults, apparently, and it was all to do with logging a potential and symptoms on the app, of which 1,200 reported a positive test, and the team, they all identified 7 common symptoms. The classic 3, any of which already qualified to people, was actually for more sensitive PCR tests, which is also proceeded in the lab, and they are a new and contrast cough, a fever, loss of smell or taste, and the further 4 already mentioned, including a sore throat and diarrhea as well. Well, if you like me and don't, well, I've got to be honest with you, I mean, I do know quite a few people who do have diarrhea. Well, I've had diarrhea before, so and it hasn't actually been COVID. I mean, I have actually had diarrhea, but it's never actually. I can't believe I'm talking about this on the show, but it's never actually been COVID, so weird, very, very odd. But anyone, really odd if you ask me, but anyone who reporting one of these, a wider group of symptoms, was invited by Zoe to take a PCR test. Now, the 7 symptoms suggested that the Zoe app may be features of the early stage COVID. They're all also extremely common and may have many other causes. The concern is that if anyone with a headache goes for a COVID test, it could overwhelm the system, apparently. Apparently it could overwhelm it. I mean, that does sound quite right to me, doesn't it? I mean, it does sound quite right there. But this is GP Dr. Margaret McCarthy told a radio programme, the Inside Health programme, that a pandemic approach was needed with those living in the areas with higher levels of the virus are treating those with wider symptoms with more suspicion than those in low COVID areas. Now, the Zoe team does not acknowledge, apparently, the astrology, which could also increase the number of people without the virus being tested. Is that true? Are we right there? But it's all rising from 46 negative tests for every positive to 95 negatives for every case identified with 7 symptoms were actually used. But Dr. Claire Steeves, the lead scientist on the app, said that when PCR testing was securely available, it made sense to restrict it. But now in our very country, the UK, in the UK, which is our country, would you believe this? They have done many tests, which has been brilliant, amazing, and it's all thanks to so much effort by the labs all over our country, and every positive person dedicated that could also save lives as well. Professor Tim Spector, who is leading the project, said that we've all known since the beginning that just focusing testing on the classic trial of cough, fever and mostly loss of smell misses a scientific proportion of cases. For us all, the message for the public is also clear. If you're feeling very unwell, don't go out, people. Just quite clearly, if you feel ill, do not go out. Okay, because you never know, you could have COVID. And you should also get a test as well. He also added that it was all especially important since there were elements that could also cause different symptoms. A study by the Office of the National Statistics found a cough, frequently sore throat, muscle pain. It's all going to be more common. I mean, when I had my COVID injection the other day, I did feel a bit achy after I had it, so I did feel a bit funny. But I'm all right now, though. The only thing I had, the only thing that was actually wrong with me was that I didn't really feel that great. I felt fine. I just felt a bit achy and all of that. So I'm just going to prepare you lot. You know, if you are having the COVID jab today or any other day this week, I envy you. I really do, because I wish you the very best of luck. And you do get a bit achy. Some people do. Some people don't. Some people do get achy. Some people don't. So if you are having it today, all I can say is it's just good luck, and you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. But I just felt a bit achy after I had it, and that means that the jab is actually working. So it's a good sign if you feel a bit achy. Just so that you all know, when I had it, I felt a bit achy. So So if you are having it today and you feel a bit achy after, that's why. Okay, so moving on then to one more story, I think, in a minute. Hang on, I just want to talk a little bit more about this. There's no symptoms or symptoms outside of those three. It's going to be able to access rapid testing through their local council or their workplace. Okay, we'll leave that there, I think. Now, there's a couple of things that have been coming up on here now. Universities. Should students be getting a refund? Because apparently it's a tough year for students at university. All lecturers and other teaching have moved online, and the university experience for many has shrunk to staring at a laptop in their bedroom. Now, that's just terrible. I just hate that. I mean, I just hate the mothers who sit their kids on a screen between 9 and 3. I've spoken about this before many, many times. I mean, it's hard. It's supposed to be half term this week. It doesn't really feel like half term, really, to be honest, if for anybody, because it just feels like the same. It just feels like the same for anybody, really. Any day, it just feels the same. Every single day just feels the same for me, really. But handshake funds of the rental of the rent debates have also helped some financially. But many students have been feeling the £9,250 yearly tuition free in England is too much. It's too much, apparently, for what they've experienced in this very pandemic. Robbie Denby is the second year of the environmental science degree, which should also give him hundreds of hours and hands on laboratory experience. But so far this year, he said that he's been in the lab for just 2 hours, which isn't great at all. But Robbie has lost his job when it closed during lockdown. He said that he understands students aren't the only ones having a hard time. He argues that they will be paying via student loans for a long time to come and will also miss out on opportunities that they will only get it once. Now, they also worry about that as well, because it's that they can only apply the role in clinical environment if it could be that. And they said, I don't have the confidence to perform certain aspects of that job, he said. Now, Poland, apparently restrictions have been eased over there. And then there's a picture of loads of skiing people. Today, Poland reported 8,694 corona cases in previous in Poland reported it in hours, and the highest number since the 14th of January, which is the number of new infections, was 68% higher than the previous day. On Tuesday this very week, which was yesterday, Poland's health minister Adam Neglinsky said the epidemic is back on the rise again, following the recent easing of restrictions. Now, on Friday just gone, Poland allowed ski resort people to reopen with cinemas, theatres, hotels also were allowed to open at half capacity. More than 20,000 tourists flocked into the country's main ski resort, and it was over that weekend and attended street parties with many people